Well, hello to you. Welcome back to the series of videos in which we convert a map from Farming Simulator 15 to Farming Simulator 17. Hopefully we'll finish this series of videos before we get Farming Simulator 19. To be honest with you, there is a lot to learn for me. I can do a lot of this in Farming Sim 15, but so much has changed, and there is simply, well, to be honest with you, there's just no documentation on a lot of this. So I'm having to learn it by looking at the default map, which is does not work in quite the same way as a modded map. So I download modded maps, I look at those, I find bugs in those, I think I can't use those, so I have to look at other ones, and it goes on, and the process goes on and on. So it is a learning process for me as well, as I said at the beginning of this series. So carrying on. What we're going to do, what I want to do next is I want somewhere to store what I grow and somewhere to sell what I grow without having to use placeables. To do that is defining those things. But before I do it, I need to tidy up the map and remove FarmSim 15 triggers, that sort of thing, because they won't work in this thing. One of the files one of the named files which we are using in FarmSim 17 that we didn't have in FarmSim 15 at all is for us called map01.xml. I'll show you where that is. I'm looking, well, that's the FarmSim 15 one. Yeah, there we go. FarmSim 17. So I'm looking in the mod folder now. The new farm we're working on. And if I look at the maps folder, you can see it's in here. We've edited it before, and it's called map01.xml. We have a lot of other map01.xml files, including two for the train system, which are also new. All of the XML files are new. If you look at the FS15 version, we have in that folder. If I do that like that. You've got the i3D file, which we've been using, but you have none of the XML files. So that's something that I'm having to learn as something new. What's that folder? No idea. Okay, so let's we're concentrating on FS17, and I said tidying things up. Before I do that, I'm going to add something to my map. And that is, I'm going to import some more, I'm going to move some more things across because I didn't want to do it this way, but it's going to be quicker and these videos are getting too far apart. So I just need to get things moving. Now, this is the sell, for me, it's the sell point area. All the sell points are over here. Now, there are a few back in the village, but in general, they're here anyway. So let's have a look. This is, had it before. No, that's trees. Actually, I want to move trees. I mean, this is not, look, it's not all of the trees, it's some of the trees, but I do want to move them across. Now, before I do that, I want to go back to my FS17 map, and I'm going to create a new transform group and call it, click on it, go to the right, highlight name, and I'll just type trees. Keep everything lowercase, it's the easy way of doing it. So I'm going to import the trees from the FarmSim 15 map into this one, like so. So I know that FAK is one of those. So we're going to file, export selection with files, and I'm going to put it in FS17 objects, and I'm going to put this one. I'm going to call it trees. Okay, I mean, because I don't know, I want to replace these with better trees, higher polygon counts, and just they look better, which will be from FS17, but I can't do that right now. So trees going to be FAK, save, across to the other one, here it is, file, import, and it's FAK. And there they are. We've got trees. I'm going to go back now because I want not animals. Store place. No. What's that? Seems to be the edge. This is in Hungarian, so I'm having problems with this. I'm very lucky. I have these organized into groups. I've been looking at some other maps, and they just don't. They don't work that way. So The Hatar is Hatar. What? I don't know what it is. So I'm going to click on one of them. Press F for focus. Oh, there we are. Look, it's these disgusting. These I think it's actually a collision thing. I don't know. All right, Hatar. Don't know. So leave that. Bokrok. Bokrok is hedges. I think it could be bushes. I'll do it anyway. What were they called? No, it was Bokrok. Bokrok. Oh, I'll export that. I'll export it. Export selection with files. Go in here. I'm going to give it the same name so I can go back and look at the old FS15 map anytime. And that back here. File. Import. Bokrok. Okay, back here. Not that. What's this? Oh, we've done that. That's the roads. That's the village. Don't know. Folder. We've done that. That was the track and the dirt tracks, I think. Now this is one of the things you see that I want to replace. Low poly trees. Now I'm going to zoom in. Try and show you one of them. It's this one. And I don't know how well you can see because it's got. Well, let me move one of these others out of the way. Look, I'll move this one there. So this thing here is a low poly tree, and you can see what it's like. If I look down from the top, it's disgusting. I don't want that, but I need, don't know, something. So I'm gonna. Oh dear. Okay, FAK. Get that back up. Right, there we go. Low poly trees. I'm just going to move them across, okay? File, export, selection with files, and they're going to call them low poly trees. I expect to be deleting this later, but for now, I just need something in the map that I can use the map. Okay, so file, import, low poly trees, done. Next. ERDO, whatever that is. Oh, and that's more trees. Have I done that one? I think I did that one, didn't I? This is the problem I've got. I done FAK, Bokrok, low poly trees. So no, I haven't done that one. So we moved that one across. It's called Erdo file, export selection with files, and it's called what? Erdo. I'm going as fast as I can. I'll try and keep this short, but if you want to skip a bit, go ahead. Of course. So file, import, what was it called? Erdo. So here it is. I did a capital E. I hope that works. There we go. And back into here. Hi, I was just checking the video I recorded a moment ago. I spotted something that I did not say, which is important because I started to do it now. It's partly to do with the trees. If you remember, there was FAK is trees, Bokrok is which is vegetation, it's bushes and things. I think low poly trees, and they are as well. Yeah. Oh, that was the forestation. So I made a transform group which is empty called trees. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to call this forestry. Like that. I know I spelled that wrong. Like that. Okay, so it's forestry now. I'm going to Control X or edit. No, I'll do it with the menus. Edit and cut. I'm going to go to trees and edit and paste. So it's back, but it's now in a group called trees. This is all part of the keeping tidy thing. So again, edit, cut, put that in trees, edit, paste, right? Bokrok, and that's, no. So what I'm going to do then is trees, I'm going to change the name of, I'm going to call it vegetation. There we go, change the name, right, Bokrok. edit. Yeah, I think you can Control X as well, just like the normal Windows thing. So Control X, Control V. There we go. Low poly trees, Control X, tree vegetation, Control V. Erdo was more, Control C, Control X rather, and then Control V. There you go. So I've now put them all in one group. Folder. The folder. See, that's and roads. So what I'm going to do is this is called roads. That's fine. This I'm going to change the name of. I'm going to call it dirt tracks. There we go. All right. So that's I'm going to keep them separate because I want to. But and this thing here, that's the butchers in the distance. But down here is the sale point. So I'm going to call this. I'm changing the name of this one too. I'm going to call it shops. It could be called shopping places. There we go. Okay, shopping places. So change the name of that. So you can see what I'm doing and how important this is actually to get right, to keep it tidy. Otherwise, you might never be trying to find something. It's going to be very, very difficult for you later. And at some point, you might want to sit. And it may be somebody, if you're not going to upload a mod somewhere, maybe somebody's going to want to edit the thing. And look at this. They can find everything. This is the old map. This one. This is it. This is the sales area. I'm going to move that across. File, export selection with files, and this goes in objects. Oh, I call it sales area. Okay. Oh no. Wait a minute. Folder. So hit there here, sales area where I put it. Okay, I'm going to cancel that a minute because I'm not going to give it that name. File, export selection with file. So I'm going to call it. Where's it got? Objects and sales area. I'll give it the same name because I don't know what else to do. Sales area. Save. Back. File. Import. Oh, cancel. File. Import sales area. Definitely need that. This one. What's this? This is. Oh yeah, this is the forestry. Okay. Forestry. There's two areas, but I'm going to file. I'm going to export selection with files, and I'm going to call this objects. I'm going to put it in trees, and I'm going to call this forestry. Forestry. Save that, open that, file, import. Now I don't even know if this is going to work, forestry on this map, but I'll put it in anyway. Forestry, villainy. Ooh, what's villainy? No, that's power lines. I was looking at these earlier. Now here's this one. This is the train station, but I'm not gonna move that because of the changes. I might in the future. Trains, I'm not gonna move. Splines are not to be moved. Just don't move splines. CD, what's that? These are triggers. That's what am I going to do with this? No, they're not. They are not triggers. Oh, they see clip. So they're kind of okay. Forget those. Deco. This is just general decoration lying around, custom info, don't know what that is. Okay, so I've imported a ton of stuff into here. This is the new one. I'm going to save that. Now we have to tidy it up. Let me check how long is this video. 11 minutes. Not bad. So tidying this up. Right. If I look at farming, so I'm in the new Farming Simulator 17 game. Data. Maps, and look for map01.xml. And as I said before, these two things are very different the way they were defined. I'm going to show you how they would look. This is the storage and sales triggers. Okay, I'm going to show you what they would look like in the old game, FS15. Now here is the location for the dumping, if you like, of objects. Oh look, it's failed to copy a whole ton of stuff. Objects, trees, what? All right, we'll sort that. I'll have a look at that later. So anyway, what I'm looking at now is the tip trigger for storage in the silo. Now what you can see, if I click on that, you've got a user attribute and it says barley, wheat, maize and so on, all those things which could be stored in there. If I go to map 01, and here it is for the default, no, this is the default at map 01. Now it is no longer, it is no longer here in fill types. Instead, it's in here in the XML file, and it's this section here. So this is where those things which can be stored in there are defined: wheat, barley, rape, maize, sunflower and soybean. Price scale is 0 because you're not selling. Support state great demand, that's when great demand pops up on the screen for purchasing certain thing from you. Price drop is disabled. So disabled price drop is true. Price drop, I don't actually know what that is, but is the selling point false and appears on the PDA? No, it doesn't. Okay. So there's no icon, there's no anything showing it. It's as being on the PDA. Station name, farm silo. Now I'll be going through these in detail in maybe the next video, but then I don't know everything yet. I haven't even looked at BGA. I do know the silo, I know where to sell stuff. I don't know the trains yet, and I think they are different, but I'm not sure. Certainly on the default map they operate differently as they seem to do. The train things don't operate the same way on the default map as they do on the modded maps in general. So I've got a bit of a problem figuring that out. But if it doesn't work, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. If you can't drive a train, you can't drive a train. That's all. Okay, so all the storage and stuff, obviously it is different. Now, we're looking at the FS17 version. So let's go in. I'm not sure if it's going to be in here because of the way the mod author made this thing. But here is the building here, which I clicked on a moment ago. So it's this one. And let's see if I click there. There it is. There's the trigger. And I've got these fill types as a field defined there, and that will come up as an error on the map when I load the map, either in Giants Editor or in the game. So I have to remove that from the map. That's the best way I think of doing it, rather than mess about changing attributes. I'm going to create a new set of triggers and of this type, which I am going to import from the default map and into this one. So I'm just going to click on this trigger and delete. How you find these triggers is not well. I know the map. I know where they are. There's one in here, not that one. Where is it? Not there. So this is the thing, is finding them. But if I click on this building, you see, I'm lucky. This guy's put. There it is. This is where you drive in and you say, oh, I want this amount of wheat and stuff. This is the trigger. So this goes into your trailer, and you can select, because trailers have triggers as well. So the two triggers kind of match up. And okay. Anyway, I want to remove that from my FS17 map. So there you go. That's gone. So what I've done is I've kept the building, so I can put FS17 triggers in there. I think I will replace these buildings eventually. I don't know if you remember me talking about that, or even if you were watching, but of course, so for that reason, they are in a folder called temp, but you can see it there, village temp, which is all of this. But we'll see. We'll see. So, well, there's a thing, by the way. If you can't find a trigger, one of the things you can do is do what I've done and just click on a transform group here. In the here or in, you can do it in here as well. And if you don't know which one to click on, if you want to know this building, let's say I just want to know about this building. It's FS15 map. I'm going to click on the building, look on the left, and you can see it's here. It's highlighted there on the left in the scenograph thing. So going up on the transform gate thing, there we go, silo K. And if I look around, it says here silo trigger, and can't see it. What's that? Ah, no, that's everything. Heap, barley heap, tip trigger. There it is. So if I look around quick enough, it's going to work. Now, just doing that, you see, I found out there, look, it's got trigger start, trigger end, tip trigger. What did I do in here? Let's go back to it. This is going to take you time, okay? That should be obvious to you. So I'm just going to click on that building again. There it is. Oh, we're fine. Barley heap, I think that must be just something pretty to look at. So that's that one done. Now, other things. So this is the FS17 map, and I'm going as quickly as I can. I'm going to select the whole village again. Now, here's another thing that's going to need to be removed. If I look over here by the gate and click on that, I happen to know that this trigger, certainly not the gate, but the trigger, maybe the gate. Anyways, animation map trigger, and for FS17, that's probably different as well. Now, let's see, if I click on that, am I getting the gate? I'm getting the gate, so that has to go. It's an FS15 mod, so that's gonna go, and I've lost the gate as well. So, but the gates do come if you download animation map trigger. If you want to use that, they give you some gates to use. So, or we can find them on the FS17 default map, that sort of thing. So it's no big deal. We can sort that out. So click again, village temp or whatever you like. And oh no, that's interesting. That one's not in the transform group, that's all. So look, I can see in front of here, these are more animation map trigger things. Click on that, delete. There's going to be one there. I'll remove that one. Oh, there goes the door. And remove that one. That's gone as well. I'm going to get rid of that. There's that one. That goes. That one. Yeah. There's the door gone. There's the door gone, and so on. Now I could have, if I Control Z is undo. So I'm going to undo. Yes, I can. Edit, undo, edit, undo, edit. Oh, it's happening. Here we go. Control Z doesn't like doing it. Undo. I want the doors back. Undo, edit, undo, edit, undo. Right, there. Now I've got my doors back. What I'd like to do is I would like to keep the doors, but I want to get rid of the trigger on this one. And if you want to do that with a gate, you can. Now, I don't know. It might be that it doesn't work properly if I do that. I might have to get rid of the doors or the whole building. This is part of the reason that I've got it on temp and I haven't got it on as a permanent thing, because I might change this building to an FS17 building. Now on the left I can see it says trigger door 1. Now that is 2 parts. So there's the door. That one seems to be that door. That is the little lock in the middle. We're looking at all stuff. But if I select, oh no, we're looking at that one. Trigger door 1. No, because you see this is like a transform group. So this is actually within. No, I have to delete the whole door. I don't have a choice. See the trigger, which is the actual thing, comes before the door. So I cannot just delete a part of it. I have to delete the whole thing. So there we go. Goodbye. So I just click delete. Now it's left me with that. Yeah, which is, I don't know what it is. It's like hinges or something. So I'll have to remove that. And then that one, look at it in the scenograph. There it is. It's that thing. I'm going to get rid of everything. It has to be tidy. This one, I'm going to do that. Every map is different, so good luck. Like that. Click on that one, over to the left. There it is. Now I've got the one left. What's that? Oh, it's just one that I couldn't see. So, come on. It's here, look. There's another door. So, get rid of that one, I think. Is it? No, you see if I click on that, I get the whole barn. And I only want to get rid of the door. There it is. Delete. That's done. So there, I've got rid of those triggers. If I can see something in there. I wonder if there's more triggers. What's this? If I look on the top right, look, it says potato tip trigger. So I know that has to go. So I'm going to look on the left. Potato tip trigger. Potato heap. Potato. Yeah. And, oh, I don't know whether to get rid of all that or just the tip trigger. I mean, potato heap. You see, this is going to be... Yeah, see, there's a silo trigger. Fill type, if I look down here, fill type potato. So that. I'll just get rid of the whole lot. Gone. You've got to be brutal with this, and you're going to have to do this with so many things on your map. So go down there again. I've already decided to get rid of all of it. So click on sugar beet and delete that. And now all I'm left with is a building. Now the perfect thing to do would be to delete all the buildings on the map and put new ones in, but that's a bit of a pain in the neck, isn't it? Now this one, again, I'm gonna have to click on it, and if I look over here now, click on the whole thing, but now I've got trigger 1, trigger 2, trigger 1, they're all called trigger 1, aren't they? But they're all doors, so I can delete, click there, it's there, look. I can actually, what I could do is control, click, and I selected all the doors, delete. I'm just pressing delete on the keyboard, by the way. Now, what else have we got here? We've got, there's some fuel. That's another one. That's going to have to go. It might or might not have changed. I don't know. Now, what's that done? If I click on that, press F, focus, and it's no idea. Click on that. That's part of it. That's the building. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a transform group that doesn't have anything in it. It's a bit odd. I'll get rid of that. So now I'll click on there. There's the trigger. Look at it on the left. I want to keep the building. I want to get rid of the trigger. Delete. So these are, I mean, that's a purchase point, isn't it? The gas, the fuel. This then was the silo thing. Over here, well, there's to know there's going to be. Is that a door there? It's not. That's good. That's good. But there are. I just remember from playing this that you can sell stuff here. Look, and well, I don't know if I want to keep any of this. I certainly don't want the trigger. Look at the scenograph over here. That one, let's zoom out. There's nothing else, it's just that. I don't know if I want to keep this sort of white, it's a white plastic sheet. I don't know if I want to keep it or not, but I might. So click on it, over to the scenograph window, click on there, I just got the trigger. And you can see again, look, fruit types, maize, wheat, barley, and so on. I press delete. Oh, I have to get it properly highlighted, don't I? There, it's gone. Okay, and there's going to be more. There's gates. There's over here. Is that over here? Where is it? You're going to have to look for the the cattle and so on, where things, oh, there's a sale point, look. Sometimes you can find them by this. Now this is an odd one, because this is the butcher, and they bought the pigs, but it was the pigs were a mod that worked in FS15. They won't work in FS17, and I don't think they'll ever be moved across. You could breed pigs and take them to the butcher. Well, if I click there, there's a sales trigger. Look, Husbolt, trigger in, trigger start, sell marker, all of it gone, because I can't sell pigs anymore. If I click on that, look, it's part of the shop. And that one, yeah, there's the building, smoke, yeah. Now smoke might or might not work. These are all things you're going to have to look at eventually. So this will keep you busy, I suppose, while you're waiting for me to do more stuff. I didn't do the train because it's more complicated. The pigs were down here. I want to make sure I did not move the pigs across, because that's an FS15 mod. That's really going to mess things up. Now they were here and then they're not, so that's great. But if I go over here, if you remember, I knew I would want to import them eventually, but okay, I can't zoom in forever, so I'll just click on something and press F for focus, zoom out a bit. Now there's the lumber mill. Look, I'll try and keep that building there if I can. I've got sort of a where is it? Here. I've got stables here. See the horses? Now some of this is going to be able to keep, some I can't. I know there are sale points. Yeah, so again, there's another one. It's around here somewhere. Now, some of the triggers, this guy, actually he kept them. Some are a part of the map, and some are not. So some are in a different transform group, is what I was trying to say. Sorry, didn't say that very clearly, did I? So this is what I'm having to do, and this is going to take forever. Marker tree. I don't know if you remember marker tree. I put it down here so I could make sure the roads were lined up. There's another tidy. I can get rid of that. Again, it's just delete on the keyboard. Now, animals is a thing. Animals. If I view, show navigation meshes, you will see, sometimes you get these on the PDA maps. I'm going to see, I'm sorry about this, it takes ages, doesn't it, to move across the map. So now I should see down here somewhere. Oh, of course not, because this was not moved across from FS15. This was moved across, or part of this default map. So the nav mesh, it's where the sheep can walk and do their stuff. Tip triggers for feeding and water and whatever. Now, where were they kept in this map? I can't remember. I think vaguely remember that they were not. They were on the other side of the road. They were here. Yeah. So if I look down, nice. Not everything's come across. Look, that's actually good news. But if I click around for a trigger, not sure. Click there. What do I get? No. That's got a trigger on it. That is what's it called? Animation map trigger, which is different. Delete that. Other things to look for. I'm trying to think of everything you could look for to delete. This is a silage thing. There was no BGA on this map, so I'm gonna have to put that in from scratch, but that's okay. I will add it. So if I click there, I mean, this is a BGA, so I'm going to click on there. Now the BGAs are completely different in FS17. They are the actual BGA is this thing. They got new fill planes, so that means when you dump it on the floor, you know what the grass looks like when you pile it up. Looks completely different. So I'm not going to have that. This is the bit that's changed. Compacting trigger, silage catcher, whatever that is or was, moving planes, tip triggers. click on the whole thing. I'm going to remove my thing. Now, some of these have walls, don't they? Some of these silage pits have walls around them. You can keep the walls if you like, but I would recommend getting rid of any triggers. Is there one here? Can't see one. I know there's one there for the door. So while I'm here, quick look on the left. There it is, trigger one. Oh my goodness. A whole ton of them. Let's zoom out a bit. So I got that. That's the building. Trigger one. That's a door. 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 Control. Click, 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 click. Delete. And there's all my doors gone and the building. Okay. It's a bit not very good, but at least I'll be able to get into the building, which I would not have been able to do because animation map trigger wouldn't work. And in fact, I mean, I'm going to have to change a lot of stuff here. Look, this is all from FS15. It's the fill planes when you feed the cattle. Click here. I can't see any triggers other than that. So this is what I'm going to do next. I have to remove all of this. Ready for the next video. When I will cover as much as I can on the subject of silos and sale points. The basic ones. I'm not going to be covering animals because they need at least one video or more. I'm not going to cover trains this time. And I will not be doing the BGA. So I will not be doing silage pits. That needs a different video. So it's going to be quite a few videos to do. And I will be doing them as I figure out what happens. I know the silo, I know the sale points, so they will probably come this week. After that, I don't know, but then we can play the map. Last thing I want to say is, I mean, I said I want to replace these trees probably. Now I'm going to go around, I'm going to look at every tree and decide what I want to do with it. And that includes my fields are slightly different now. So for example, they're quite nice trees, I think. Can't remember very well. I'm just going to click on that one. I'm going to move it out of the way. Here we go. It's gone. All right. And I'd like to replace the trees around the fields with trees that I can cut down. I don't think I can cut that one down. So I'll have to look into that sometime in the future as well. So you can say, as you can see, I've got a lot to do. I'm sure you've got a lot to do. It's going to take you many hours. I mean, look, yeah, if you want to change your fields, you know how to do it. But I probably will join together some fields. I might add a few. I might take some away because I don't like them in where they are and so on. So, you know, everything's going to change for me, or a lot of things. So I'm quite happy that these are in the wrong place. I'm sorry if you're there in the right place. If your fields don't line up perfectly and you have trees in your fields, just move them out of the way. I'm sorry if that's a bit of a nuisance for you, but it's one of those things. I would say if you do move the trees across, all you're doing really is making life easier for you, because as you can see, there are a heck of a lot of trees, and I suppose placing them is going to be very difficult if you have to do them all one at a time or and so on. I will explain a little bit about how you can speed that process up, but that's going to be a future video as well. There is so much to do, but now look at the map. It's got trees, I can't sell anything and I can't store anything other than dump it on the ground, but that's not too bad. And as I say, in the next video we'll be doing that, but I'm going to tidy up my map a little bit before I even think about making that video, I think. Oh no, I don't know. I'm going to stop yapping, and I'm going to say that I will see you for the next video, and we will do silos and we will do some sale points. Okay, see you next time, and goodbye.